have to take care of all of the kids because I'm going to take care of them anyway because that's just how I'm wired.
Right.
You know? What am I going to do with this, with her? What if she had to offer? You know what I mean? It's going to be a hard road. Here go the crazy part. Some of these sisters going to have 7 or 8 niggas behind her in a harem. Because they not emotionally strong enough. They going to have to keep each other in check so they can build up emotionally. And she going to have to orchestrate that shit like a maestro. So it ain't just men going to have all these women. Some of these women got to help them boys work through their childhood trauma so they can become a man because their mama didn't do it when she had the chance. And they gonna need the sibling rivalries of those other guys in order for them to do what they supposed to do. Peer pressure. Positive peer pressure.
Basically.
You know? If you want to get your own, you got to be able to stand up to this scrutiny right here.
Facts.
I keep telling them they got to do their self-work. Because if you don't do your self-work, so they don't want us to be selfish, but it's 2 types of selfish, and this is what they never tell you. You got constructive selfishness and destructive selfishness, right? And constructive selfishness is you take the time to put yourself in a position so that you can be of more help than if you try to overextend yourself now. Destructive selfishness is you don't care about nobody but your own little personal needs. And you will step on other people to meet them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's destructive.
Yep.
Right? So when you put them side by side, they call it doing your self-work if you constructively selfish. Like, why if I know I'm going to be cranky doing these fasts every other week, why would I expose somebody to that crankiness? I got to do my self-work. You know? So I got to be selfish to the point that I withdraw, do that self-work. Now I'm more of an asset than I was before I did that work.
Right.
You know, when I start facing the shadows of my own darkness, right? I get all that shit out the way. Now what? I'm upping my motherfucking stock value on the market.
Bingo.
Right? And don't nobody know I'm doing it but me.
Bingo.
You know, so
that's why my brothers, I encourage our brothers to read, to strengthen your own mind. Don't be concerned what another man is doing. Be concerned with what you're doing. Build your own self up individually. You have to, as a man, to submit yourself inside the universe. The universe is paying attention. Everybody's watching. What you think not being watched, you're being watched. We emit a frequency. And we are the children. We are divine souls that are connected to the like I said, 95% of the world won't make it. 5% of the world have an idea about what's going on, but less than 1% are the ones that are speaking up, that are truly divine, that understand not only the planet belongs to us. We seeded this shit here and everything here on the planet. This is ours.
And we the last ones left because we wasn't watching the other organic people around the world claiming they shit back. Landmass by landmass. The Australians did it. Everybody except the Haitians. The Haitians, they don't want to close that open conjure for the Haitian Revolution. They think it's all fun and games. But as long as that war conjure open, they're going to have hell. You know? And then they the last ones besides us. But when we start closing it out, it's going to force them to step up to the plate and close they shit out. Right? So, all over the world, like a couple years ago, 2019, the women of China restored the matriarchy and overthrew the communist regime. Is just a TV story now. The People's Republic of China is no more. But we ain't watching that, so we don't know. We didn't see Trump when he went to go get our gold certificate, where our gold or wealth was held while we was going through this contract with the corporation known as the United States. Right? They weren't watching that. They didn't read the Indigenous Rights Act of the United States or the Indigenous Rights Act of the United Nations to know that when we start making the connections across the land with the chiefs and go back to our own oral tradition of telling our brothers and sisters in the public domain what's going on, right? If we was watching that, if we knew our old ways, this is what me and you doing right now. We showing them how to meet each other with respect, and that we both understand what's going on a higher level than most of our people, and we trying to show them with the science, with the physics and the metaphysics and the matchup.
Right.
You know, what you was showing them when the red was on the back side of the planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the red on the outside of the electromagnetic field in front of the planet.
Right.
Right. And what's going to happen is, and when you see this, we gonna know the sky's gonna be red like a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna cause the atmosphere or the insulator of Earth, which is ozone, to come down to insulate from the gamma radiation buildup. That's what it's up there for. When it starts pushing on it, it expands. Once it get down here, and those carbonated beings start breathing the double oxygen molecule, it's going to start to activate more of the so-called junk DNA. But it's going to do this by increasing the frequency and the vibration of the mitochondria. The mitochondria is pure love energy from source being used in a relay. That's what mitochondria is. And we can only get it from the women. So the relay is going to turn up the amount of energy that is output. The Anunnaki had what we call a governor. Like you got a mini bike, you put a governor on there so it won't go fast. They had something like that on our DNA. This energy flux is going to automatically break it. It's natural because they have nothing that can suppress it when this vibration of the energy grid change due to going back to the Shu and Tefnut resonance. And it's going to change the geography of the planet. And the women not going to act the same. They're going to understand things on a higher level because they're going to be operating from more spirit knowledge than this written shit that these motherfuckers told them was the truth.
Right.
You know, the power is in the word. The word is it's the spoken word, the husia, that authoritative utterance laced with that exceptional insight that brings these things into fruition. The more of our people get the science part of it, and then they get the metaphysics matched up to the science where they can see it clear, we did our part.
Good question.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to automatically, using the 100 monkey effect, critical mass, just to flip. They said it was April the 1st, dog. And then you showed that line you showed, that's what I'm talking about. Time. Perfect timing. Then you had the energy spike on the Schumann went all the way down to the bottom. Right? So when you were showing all those little arrows that was flipping, Right. That's because the grid is flipping. The electromagnetic grid of the earth is flipping.
Turning. Yep.
And when it go back to its proper frequency, a lot of people just not gonna be able to vibrate on that frequency, and Earth gonna do what Earth do. She cleans herself. She don't need none of us tell us how to wipe her ass. She already know how to do it.
No, that's the fuck right. Facts. Definitely facts, man. Definitely. Like I said, you gave I mean, a lot of the things that you were speaking about, you just gave it to me from an Egyptology point of view, and it all lines up. It makes us, if we're saying the same thing, we're just showing it both sides, and that's why I'm glad that we did get on here, and I'm glad that the people had an opportunity to hear from us both. I was able to show that, and you was able to explain it even more thoroughly on that side of things. One of the things that me noticing is that our people are ready for the anatomy part, the science. We're ready for that right now because we know that that's the most liberating thing right now. And that's one of the reasons why I stick with it so much. I stay with the biology, I stay with the frequency, I stick with the sun blood, which is directly connected to us. So I stay with that stuff so that way I don't want my people to get sidetracked anymore with this human talk. If the earth flat around, what continent that we originated on. We wherever the sun touches and rises at, wherever the rays the sun touch, that's where we from.
It's kind of hard to explain to them how we just spring up all over because we the spirit of the earth manifest in the human body.
Come on. I say that all the time, man. I say it all the time. We the sun, the human flesh, the sun of the universe walking in human flesh. That's what
each one of us is a whole neutron star.
Right.
So that's why they don't want us to raise our vibration, and that's why they interfere with people like me and you doing so. Right? Because in raising our vibration, you get more of your star qualities back. And we know what makes a movie star, right? Great charisma. You can't find a movie star that was not full of charisma.
Ain't that the truth?
Whether you like him or don't, whether he the villain or whether he the hero, he gonna have great charisma.
That's what's up, man.
So that's how we get that charismatic quality back. You know what they call it? Nobility. That's when we express in noble traits like noble metals like gold and platinum.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when our women, they didn't dye their hair when it started turning gray, because when it turned gray, that's the highest of the platinum group metals, platinum.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean that they did their work, they put in their time, and they face not gonna show it. So they have to show it in their hair.
Right.
Right? That was a badge of honor.
Right. And
our people also invented wigs, weaves, braids, extensions, all that came from us.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been doing it for thousands of years. So we got to stop using that as a standard to judge the level of somebody's woke.
Mm-hmm.
Because you couldn't have been no woker than the pharaoh who wore a wig. Hatshepsut wore a wig on her chin.
Mm-hmm.
You see? But we don't know what it means in this era, because we take that to mean that she thought she was a man, but that ain't what it meant. It was just that the tribe that she inherited her power through, the symbol of power in that tribe was the beard. And it was patterned after the god Ptah. And if you look at the statue of Ptah, he got a long beard, just like Hatshepsut wore. That was her clan signature of ruling power.
Right. And I remember during that time, I was reading something that she wore that because we were going to war. We was having a lot of battles at that time, and that was time that they was pushing in not the patrilineal, the matriarch. They were pushing in the matriarch system, the masculine system, and she was trying to get. She had to put on that look to say, "Listen, I'm leading my people," you know. But other than that, uh, we were going through a conflicting time at that time when she did that, and a lot of us won't understand that our women was doing so much to try to keep us from falling as far as we fell.
Yeah.
You know, so especially dealing with these people. We knew back then that we should not be dealing and mingling with these people. And some of us, you know, we started mingling with this artificial race because we wanted rulership, we wanted power, and more importantly, we wanted power over our people. We wanted to be kings and rulers of our own people, but not rulers the way that a European man did it today. We wanted rulers because we understood that the more people believed in us, the more people sent energy our way, that frequency meant something. It kept us younger. It kept us in our youth. It kept us being able to manipulate dark matter. So that's why I tell people it's very important that your energy is sacred in who you give it to. It's very important. It's okay to value something, but don't love nothing more than you love yourself.
Now, remember when I said some people that look like us, but they're not us?
Mm-hmm.
This is the artificial race. In truth, these Enlil kids. Enlil kids came with the Anunnaki wars to conquer Earth. They're not native nowhere here. That's why we call them artificial.
Right.
But they take on every skin tone and hair texture too. Right? They amalgamated with us, but they can't become whole with us because they're not mitochondrial people. And this is why they push patriarchy agenda so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because they don't have the reverence for the mother. They see the mother is a breeder.
Right.
Right? And we see the mother as a nurse, teacher, you know what I'm saying, caregiver, nurturer of the next generation.
That's right.
We don't see our women the same as they see them.
Right.
Right? That's the artificial race. They got a beginning on Earth and they're going to have an end. We still going to be here.
No question.
And we're going to have every skin color because we always had every skin color. And we're going to have every hair texture because we always had every hair texture. And they were broke up into tribes. The tribes was called the 12 Daughters of Isis. The 12 Daughters of Isis are the key figures around the throne of Isis, or the zodiac. Isis sits on the earth seat. That's the representative seat of what we call in Egypt, Tawaret, who sit in the center of creation. It's represented by the hippopotamus and the zoo type of the zodiac in Egypt. But on Earth, it used to be where the Kaaba is.
Right.
How they circumambulating the Kaaba?
Mm-hmm.
That was to give honor to the black boxes, the uterus. That's why you have a yoni as the black stone on the corner. The black box is a symbol for the passing from one life into the next. And that's why all of the statuettes of the deities, the 99 plus one names of Allah, was all deities that was held in the black box. And this is when they start saying, when they start pulling them out, they start unleashing the gods on earth. Right? Because before they was under structure of Big Mama, the Black Madonna. Now they under the reign of the Dragon Queen. She looked anatomically male, but is female. She's what we call a seahorse, who Enlil called in for backup and liked it here and wanted to overthrow him. You see? So then they put us all in the middle of their shit. We ain't had nothing to do with that. They brought their family feud to Earth. The war in heaven landed on Earth, and we got mixed up in that shit, and we had nothing to do with it. Does that mean the war in Nibiru landed on Earth and engulfed us who didn't have nothing to do with it? And they tried everything in their power to restrict us from ever realizing who we was, so we would never run their ass the fuck up out of here. Now they gotta go. Because Rod spoke to Kalai in front of all the people with no discord. Because I know who you is, you know who I am.
Exactly. No doubt, brother. No fucking doubt with that. And it's a movie that it's an animated movie that shows a lot of similarities of what you was talking about. And I spoke about this movie. It's called Beowulf. Beowulf or Beowulf. It's a Beowulf. Yeah. Speaks about that. Yep. The serpent woman in the water. You know what I mean? It definitely speaks about that. And I remember watching that movie too, taking my son to go see it. I mean, like, damn. And for you to speak about it right now, it just brought back. And I seen that movie years ago, but when you was speaking about it right now, and I'm like, shit, that sounds just like the movie. They put it right in front of our face.
They've been
Right?
doing it all the whole time. Especially the ones they call sci-fi or a comic.
Mm-hmm.
Because we least likely to take any of that shit serious.